tonight, I want to continue looking at, if you like, the real Mary. Not the Mary we see on Christmas cards, let alone the one elevated to become a statue to be worshipped. None of that. A couple of years ago, the Pope entrusted the whole care of the world into Mary's hands, so it was definitely not that one. Who Mary was just an ordinary girl from an ordinary town. No apparent wealth or status, no string of educational accomplishments to her name. Yet by the time Mary arrives at her cousin Elizabeth's house at the end of chapter 1 of Luke's Gospel, she's already spoken with an angel and said yes to the most extraordinary pregnancy in history. Now, how much she understood at this stage about the possible implications of her decision, the anger, disappointment of family, friends, and of her betrothed, the potential social shame and exclusion, we don't know. But the fact that she went quickly to stay with her cousin shows a bit of wisdom there, a wise move that recognises the need for people that you trust to support you. Also buying her a bit of time to digest something of what had happened to her. So I think it's hugely significant that given all that has happened to Mary, the first words that she says are not focused on herself and her own situation, but instead are words of praise and worship. I mean, just consider the beginning of what's described in the Gospel as Mary's song in Luke 1, verses 46 onwards, I guess. I mean, it's so far removed from this Hail Mary, rosary-based image of this woman to be worshipped. First thing she says is, "My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Saviour." Amazing. See, right at the start, she focuses on God and her own personal need for a Saviour. I reckon she'd be hugely embarrassed to be ever seen as someone who should be worshipped, adored, and prayed to. She goes on, "For he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. From now on all generations will call me blessed. For the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name. His mercy extends to those who fear him from generation to generation. He's performed mighty deeds with his arm. He has scattered those who are proud in their inmost thoughts. He has brought down rulers from their thrones, but has lifted up the humble." She continues. See, that isn't the Mary that we bow down to and worship and lift up onto a pedestal and put as a statue in a little niche in a church or a cathedral. That's a woman, a young girl, who knows the power of God. She knows his defense of the humble, the extent of his mercy. And the very fact that she recognizes she needs a Savior tells us a lot. I mean, these beautiful words demonstrate the knowledge of her faith and her understanding of who the mighty God of Israel really is. She knows that he is a God who acts. She knows that he sees the poor and the lowly, the put upon, the oppressed, and will act justly on their behalf, bringing the hope of salvation. She trusts what the angel has told her, that this child she bears will accomplish God's purposes in the world in an astonishing way. And she feels the immense privilege of playing such a significant part in that, despite the cost. Mary's words here show a truly, I reckon, extraordinary heart. That's what I like about Mary. Not this sanitized, beautiful, serene, calm girl in a kind of nun's habit. No, she knew her God, not just as a distant or idealized hero figure, but as a person in whom she could trust and open herself to with completeness that few of us could imagine. And may we too desire that kind of open-heartedness to him this Christmas. And that's why we need to focus on Mary. Of course she's special. She enjoys God's favour and is blessed by him. But she's not the Queen of Heaven, a goddess to be worshipped. All that simply does is to obscure the reality of who she was and what she did. She was obedient. She trusted God. She was humble. She enjoyed a close personal relationship with God. She was prepared to sacrifice her own desires and serve him. So when we look at the nativity scenes and see her sanitized image on a Christmas card, remember that not even Mary was elevated above you. We all have the ability to serve God this Christmas by doing what he's called us to do. And do it knowing that it's his will that matters, not mine. God bless you all.